In the era where footballers are brands and careers end with a price tag, Paul Pogba chose a different path. He chose meaning over millions. This is why his return to football isn't just a comeback, it is a gift to football itself. The fall of Paul Pogba shook the world of football. It shook it to the core because every single person that had come across with Paul Pogba understood that this was a consummate professional. This was someone that loved the game of football and would not want to cheat it any single way. Now, the doping test that was carried out with Paul Pogba first had seen something that should not be there. And with that, he got given a 4-year ban. With that 4-year ban, every single person thought about what Paul Pogba had already started facing before that ban came in, with the injuries upon injuries upon injuries that he faced in the first 2 years of going back to Juventus. So everyone thought about this fact that if Paul Pogba is out of football for 4 years, that might be the end of Paul Pogba in playing football. However, there was an appeal that took place. This appeal took place to make sure that Paul Pogba had an opportunity to defend his name. And while the appeal came, his lawyers did the good work. They proved that Paul Pogba did not know much about this situation, about this banned substance getting into his body. This substance was given to him by a doctor, allegedly. And this was where Pogba went wrong. Because Pogba went to a doctor in Florida instead of sticking with a doctor in Juventus. Now, the doctor in Florida, who is technically a doctor for athletes, he understands what athletes should take and what they shouldn't. But this caused Pogba a lot of problems. However, now we are past that. 2 years are gone past, and now we can focus on Paul Pogba back into football. And these are the quotes that Paul Pogba said. Finally, nightmare is over. I can follow my dreams again. This right here was truly what broke me. It broke me because, brother, every single person that was a young kid that understands the love and the want to play professional football understands that there is a time of grieving. There's a time of grieving. You literally feel like you have lost a loved one when that dream has come and left without you actually realizing it. It is the most painful thing. In fact, I will say this. When I realized that I was not going to be a professional footballer, I can tell you for a fact, I went into deep depression. It was a sad thing to say, but brother, it hurt me deeply. It hurt me deeply. And I literally, when I realized that my football career, my professional career would not be realized, that hurt me deeply. It hurt me to the core. It was the hardest thing for me to actually come to grasp. It literally felt that one of my favorite people in the world had passed away. And so when Pogba was facing him being out of the game for 4 years and potentially never coming back to play football, that hit home. That hit home. Because I know what it feels like to lose your dreams. I know what it feels like. And then you also have the situation where Paul Pogba had to terminate his contract with Juventus. He terminated the contract with Juventus. That alone was really bad. I was expecting Juventus to stand behind Pogba, but of course, that was not it. Football is still a business after all. Now, Pogba is back in football. Then came the temptation. The temptation of Saudi Arabia. The temptation of the MLS. All the big money and easy legacy came calling. Paul Pogba still has the name, still has the game. But one thing was for sure. He still had unfinished business. He still had unfinished business, and that informed his decision as he said no to Saudi Arabia, no to the MLS. And that alone, to me, is one of the reasons why Paul Pogba is a gift to football as we speak right now. It was never about money. It was never about money. It was about the feeling. It was about the feeling. You get me? And that is why it leads us to the homecoming. Paul Pogba's homecoming to playing football, professional football again. His first ever season in Ligue. He is a French player, a French World Cup player, has never played in the French League. And this season, this upcoming season, will be his first ever season in Ligue. Finally, he gets to play in France. He got signed by Monaco, which is a club on the rise. A club that every single person that is watching this would love to play for. Who wouldn't love to live in Monaco with the supercars and the creme de la creme? Who wouldn't love that? And then of course the quote comes out, "I feel like a kid arriving at a training center." It is just amazing. I am so happy for Paul Pogba. A World Cup winner returns home not to retire, but to restart his career. That is the key part of this situation. Now, what matters? Why does this matter to me? Why does this matter to you? Why does this matter to every single person that watches football and loves the beautiful game? Paul Pogba reminds us of the joy of football. Paul Pogba is not a Pep Guardiola system, tiki-taka, tiki-tiki, whatever. Paul Pogba is swagger. Paul Pogba is flair, soul, beautiful. I don't know what words I could use to describe when a ball is on the feet of a magician. That is Paul Pogba. He shows us that the comebacks are still possible. In a cynical sport that he was in, he brings vulnerability and belief that is possible, belief that you can do it, belief that anything you put your mind to, it can happen. At this point, Paul Pogba is playing for love, not just the legacy, because his legacy is already cemented. His legacy is already cemented. He does not need the money for Jack because he has that already. And his name already would make sure that he never goes wanting. But he's coming back to football because he loves the beautiful game. He loves the beautiful game. And this is why he is a gift to football. Now let me leave you with something that you should actually just mull over. Paul Pogba's comeback isn't just his story, it's ours. A reminder that even in the business of football, there is still a room for heart, hope, and of course, homecomings. Now, if this comeback inspired you, hit that like and tell me what you would do if the world counted on you or counted you out. I want you to let me know down in the comments. If this comeback inspired you, hit the like and tell me down in the comments what you would do if the world counted you out. Because one thing is for sure, Paul Pogba has already responded to that call to action. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. If we brought value to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Love y'all. Peace.